Hi everyone, this is Grandmaster Eugene Perelshteyn for ChessOpeningsExplained.com, and today I want to share with you one of my students' games, how she neutralized this very annoying bishop c4 d3 plan in the Sicilian Defense against our beloved accelerated dragon. So here white plays immediate bishop c4. Normally knight f3 is inserted first, but it doesn't really matter. Knight c3, bishop g7, and now knight g to e2. This is kind of the poisonous setup. White wants to play this, this, and this, and kind of checkmate us. So knight c6 is fine. a3, I guess the idea is to prepare bishop a2 retreats. Knight f6, this is one out of two main plans against the setup. Another plan, you can start with immediate e6 and knight g7 followed by d5, and black gets excellent game. I like this setup a lot as well because the bishop is not blocked in. But knight f6, nothing wrong with this move order. Castles d6, and here guys we have what is called the typical position. Now remember how I taught you to create plans. You draw the arrow from the base of the pawn chain. Clearly white's plan is to play f4, f5. Black's pawn chain is e7, d6, c5. Also keep in mind this is called the dragon formation. The dragon swings with his tail. So the plan is pretty easy. a6, b5. And that's what happened in this game. Knight g3, no real threats at the moment, right? The pawn is protecting quite nicely. a6, f4, b5, bishop a2. And now the dilemma is, do we continue swinging with the tail? Do we play rook b8? Or, as my student decided, simply to play bishop b7 and get ready to play on the entire board. The key in these positions is you have to look at the entire board and don't be drawn to a small kind of area like this side of the board or this side of the board, because the battle, black can actually overtake the entire board with the right play. And that's what happened in this game. f5 gives us a beautiful outpost. Again, don't be afraid of this yet. Obviously, people are afraid of this f-pawn. We have plenty of defenders. Knight e5, key defender, defends a lot of key squares. Also, beautiful outpost for the knight. Pawn takes, bishop g5. And now I like what black does here. Black's dream is to play e6, d5. The pin, though, is quite annoying. We have to break the pin. Queen d7, king h1, knight h7, hitting the bishop. And now black takes over the initiative. e6, beautiful move. Rook f2, probably trying to double up. But again, this knight, rook, king, and queen, plenty defenders, right? d5, black is already much better. So this is already big opening advantage. Again, if you just want to learn how to play the opening part, you don't need to analyze this position further. It's pretty obvious that black is already better. But for those of you who want to kind of understand where the middle game can take and how black can actually outplay white, please stick in for the rest of the game. Queen f1 was played. d4, the expansion continues. Knight e2, and here black has many excellent plans. One of them is c4 with the idea eventually rook c8, put pressure on the base of the pawns. The plan that black chose is a little bit risky plan, but it's still pretty interesting. Knight g4 and knight e3. The idea is that you're going to open up the g7 bishop, which is a monster, right? That's our famous dragon bishop. Bishop takes, because you can't really tolerate that knight. Pawn takes, and now this drops a pawn. Rook takes, drops the b pawn, so knight c3 was played. Bishop h6, well, why not protect your nice pawn on e3? Knight g2, king g7, getting out of any x-ray of that bishop. And now the game gets pretty sharp. We're about to lose our pride of the position, that pawn on e3. But f5, I really like that move. Opening up the second front. That bishop that was put on b7 way back on move 10 now makes a lot of sense. Black is close to winning. Knight takes, pawn takes, hitting the rook, pawn takes, and here black could have simply won a piece using the simple tactic. If rook takes, queen is lost, but bishop takes e4 is obviously winning as well. Rook takes, queen takes. Now we've got a major problem of queen g1, queen d2. That's a double attack right there. Queen c1 is a nasty pin with the bishop on h6. Queen d1 was playing in the game, but after queen takes, rook takes, drops the knight. So white had to take with the knight, but after rook f1, knight g1. Pretty pathetic position, don't you think? White is completely outplayed. The simplest win is what happened in the game. Bishop takes c2. White ended up dropping the piece, and the rest doesn't need commentary. Eventually, black gave checkmate. White should probably already resign here. So you see, guys, there are several ways to counter the bishop c4 d3 setup. As I mentioned right here, one idea is e6 followed by knight g7 d5. The other ideas happen in the game. You're not really afraid of f4 f5 push as long as you take necessary precautions, right? Get the e5 outpost, put the bishop on b7, prepare e6 d5, and take over the initiative. Thank you very much. This was Grandmaster Eugene Perelshteyn for ChessOpeningsExplained.com.